All right, let's talk about one of the most incredible and honestly most overlooked feats of engineering that you see almost every single day. Those giant, high voltage power lines that snake for miles across the country.
I mean, really think about it for a second. These towers are enormous, hundreds of feet tall, and they're often out in the middle of nowhere on some rugged terrain. You can't just toss the cables over. So, how in the world do they do it? Well, it's a fascinating, seriously high stakes process that pushes human skill right to the edge.
So, there's actually a name for this whole process. It's called stringing work. But that name is a little misleading because this is less of a construction job and more like a high altitude, high stakes engineering ballet. It's a world that demands incredible precision, very specialized equipment, and a set of rules that you just cannot break.
Now, before a single wire even gets unspooled, the most critical part of the whole operation has to be assembled: the team. And let me tell you, this is not a job for just anyone. The physical and technical requirements are unbelievably strict. The selection process is just incredibly picky. You've got to be between 21 and 50. You have to pass a special height pass test, and you need to be medically certified as totally fit for this. Any little sign of weakness, and you're disqualified. And this isn't about being unfair, it's literally about survival.
And forget about your standard hard hat and safety vest. This gear is next level. Workers wear a full body harness that has shock absorbers and multiple redundant fall arrest systems. It's all designed specifically for climbing and working at these crazy heights. It's pretty much a suit of armor built to defy gravity. Okay, so we've got our elite crew. They're decked out in their high-tech gear. Now for the main event, getting that massive wire, which they call the conductor, from one tower to the next. The whole thing breaks down into four main phases. First, they anchored the tower itself with these huge guy wires so it can't shift even an inch under all that strain. Then, they hoist up special rollers that are going to act as guides for the wire. Now here's the really clever part. They don't try to pull that final, super heavy cable first. That thing can weigh tons. Instead, they start with a really lightweight pilot wire. They pull that through first, and then they use that to pull the actual conductor through the rollers. Finally, and this is so important, they set the sag. That's that perfect, carefully calculated droop in the wire. They measure it with a special tension gauge to make sure it's just right, accounting for things like temperature and weight. See, if it's too tight, it'll snap. Too loose, and it's a major hazard. You know, this one little detail from the official rulebook says it all. Use of tractor for pulling is prohibited. This one rule just perfectly highlights the kind of precision we're talking about here. You can't just hook the wire up to any old machine. You need a specialized winch that gives you perfectly smooth, controllable tension. There are absolutely no shortcuts. This whole operation is governed by a long, long list of do's and don'ts. And these aren't just helpful suggestions, they are the absolute laws of working at height. They're designed to make sure every single person goes home safe at the end of the day. Now, some of these rules are just common sense, right? Like no horseplay. But others really show you the unique dangers of this job. Every single tool has to be tied off with a rope. You have to maintain 3 points of contact at all times when you're climbing. And get this, absolutely no mobile phones. The slightest little distraction could be fatal. It's a culture of complete, unwavering focus. So when you step back and you really look at this whole process, you start to realize something kind of profound. The light you're using to see right now, the device you're watching this on, all of it is powered by the skill and the sheer courage of these crews doing this incredibly dangerous, totally invisible work. It really is like a symphony. The planning, that elite team, the specialized gear, the step-by-step procedure. It all comes together in this incredible performance of engineering that powers our entire modern world, all performed in an office that's hundreds of feet up in the air. So the next time you're on a road trip and you see those towers marching across the landscape, maybe you'll see them a little differently, not just as a bunch of metal and wire, but as a real monument to human ingenuity. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? What other invisible, high-stakes work is happening all around us, just out of sight?